Soldier. We know it is the sequel to Captain America 1, the first Avenger, which actually directly led into the Avengers. We all know what happened after Captain America First Avenger. He went on ice for 70 years. Boom, fast forward to the Avengers, where he was unfrozen and he's the leader of the Avengers. However, this movie, Captain America 2, has a totally different feel to it, and it follows the events of what happens in the Avengers in New York. With that being said, the movie is about Captain America and how he actually deals with everyday life in this modern day era compared to when he was around back in the 40s. With this movie, it's more political thriller, but it's about how he deals with some of the conspiracies surrounding S.H.I.E.L.D. He's already having trust issues and trying to figure out who he trusts and who he does not trust in this day and age, but let alone around S.H.I.E.L.D., with all the secrecy that's added to that organization, he's just trying to figure things out. So, with that being said, this is our review. Alright, so talking about the story. Taryn, what do you think, man?
Alright, so as far as the sequel, I mean, I think things kind of pick up a little quickly as far as this. You know, Cap trying to find out where I stand right now in this new modern age world from the 1940s. He decides to do what any soldier would do, you know, continues trusting the agency he's with, goes on his missions, and things just kind of lead him to distrust S.H.I.E.L.D. as an agency, and, you know, there's like some corruption there, and so, you know, trying to get to the bottom of it. And so, I mean, I thought as far as like the general story, I mean, you know, it's pretty good. They gave us like pretty good reason to watch things get blown up. Mm-hmm. Helicarriers, soldiers. I thought the action was way more real this time. It wasn't it wasn't as like comic book feel. It's like, you know, what would it feel like to get hit with a adamantium shield? Like, you know,
yeah, like people were literally getting lit up.
You know, and in this movie I learned it wouldn't feel too good.
Yeah.
It's like you don't need to breathe.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as like, you know, just overall story, like I felt it was like well written. I thought that they did like a great job as far as this movie and just like making you actually care about the characters, what's going on, like on scene, not using it as kind of like this is just building up to a set piece that we want. It's like, hey, you know, we want this to happen, so let's just write the story in after on why this is actually going on. So, I mean, I thought they did a pretty good job with that.
I thought that the story was dope in terms of, like you're saying, it's more realistic, but it really stayed on point in terms of what we go through modern day, in terms of surveillance, in terms of breach of privacy. And I thought that they had a nice spin on that with S.H.I.E.L.D. And of course, after the events of the Avengers, where that totally shaped the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where, okay, hey, we're dealing with a force that we've never seen before. Now let's protect what we have here on Earth. And by feeling of protection, they feel that they should surveillance everyone. And with Captain America, he doesn't feel that is technically safe. It's more or less pushing people towards fear. And with that story, taking his character and what he believes in, the whole gung-ho truth, American justice, and doing it the American way, I thought that was pretty dope, and how they were able to shape that into an actual story that we can believe in. I thought that was pretty cool as well. And like you were saying, is extremely well written. Each of the characters were able to fit into the story. It didn't feel too much as they did not need to be there, but they actually fit, and each person had a purpose. And to me, I thought the story was strong. It had a great push for emotion in terms of bringing out someone that Captain America didn't know even existed anymore, his best friend, bringing him back as the actual antagonist of the story, one of the main villains, which is the Winter Soldier. I thought that was pretty amazing as well. And then taking these events and pushing them forward, moving them forward, I thought that was pretty good too. So I thought that the story was on point.
I thought, as compared to like the first one, like this one was just like way better as far as like story pacing, action. Obviously, Cap actually using the shield, going to town on people.
Like a beast.
Yeah, pretty much. I was like, you know, it was like well put together. It wasn't too comic booky, where you know, just there's. I mean, granted, there's some one-liners where you're just like, but like, but like for the most part, it wasn't like way over the top. Like it was like a solid film. Like as far as character development. They try to go more in depth with Scarlett Johansson because pretty much like in the Avengers, she's just like a an ornament. Yeah,
like a C character.
Yeah, it's just like red hair. I'm pretty. I got a bodysuit on. Let me just kick some dudes. All right. That's pretty much it. So here they give her a little bit of character development. They didn't get too cliche as far as like the romantic stuff where they're like, there's a lead male character, there's a lead female character. Let's put them together. Let's force this awkward situation. It was good.
Yeah, it's really realistic in terms of those two characters together. I thought that of course Chris Evans as Captain America, he makes you believe, and he embodies Captain America in this film. I think in the first film, I think they kind of it wasn't bad, but I think they tried to force feed you Captain America, and they gave you the old school 1940s Captain America, but they want you to feel gung-ho about him, but you know that they were trying to lead to the Avengers through Captain America, the first Avenger. But in this movie, he embodies that character and makes you believe in Captain America. And it being darker, as to me, one of the darkest films Marvel has done, for him to be able to act as Captain America in this world that was given, I thought that's pretty amazing. And then that brings in Scarlett Johansson because it's like you were saying that it wasn't a forced relationship. It was more or less a way for them to actually put the two together and make it more realistic, because even though she was trying to get at him throughout the whole film, he was like, no, I don't feel that way.
Captain America.
He's Captain America. He doesn't have time for that.
Another plus for this one over the first one, no random training montage.
Freedom cost a $1.05.
Yeah, definitely not. Because I was like, it was just like, all right, we got a training montage. Then follow the training montage, we get an action montage where swinging from poles, blowing stuff up. This one was just like, I thought it was a well done movie as far as like action pacing. I mean, granted, for some people it's just like it's a comic book movie. I'm not gonna take things too seriously, but I like that they actually try to throw some like real world themes as far as like national security, what's going too far as far as like threats.
Dude, what I loved about this film was, I mean, of course, to me, I have a hard time trying to debate this between this and the Avengers together, just because of how well this film was placed, top to bottom, solid film. But the acting, to me, the acting was very incredible compared to the other films. I mean, dude, when you're ever going to say that there was a comic book movie that had Robert Redford in it, and just for him to have the gravity to, whenever he was in the scene, he stole it, and he was able to control himself in this film. I thought that was really dope. Samuel L. Jackson, he really felt, to me, he had the most screen time as Nick Fury in all the films that he was in. I mean, I kind of felt like he was a sideshow. And remember Iron Man 2?
Yeah.
When they wanted to put Nick Fury in it so that way you can kind of feel how he is. It was like the standard Samuel L. Jackson in a movie. This one, as Nick Fury, he truly was Nick Fury. You can see how strong he was as that character, and I thought that was dope. Anthony Mackie, incredible. Bringing him into the Marvel U, that was incredible as the Falcon. And his character didn't feel pushed as well. You know how sometimes they'll fit in a character, aka Jeremy Renner in the Avengers.
Hey, you got my boy Hawkeye.
Yeah, where is he at this but
jumping off a building somewhere, shooting aliens.
Exactly. But in this movie, Anthony Mackie didn't feel forced either. His character, they brought him in early on just as a friend to Captain America, because the whole movie about him not trusting anyone, he actually found someone who he could trust, and that's the Falcon. And in comic books, that is his partner in crime in the whole movie. All right, now talk about the directors and what they did in this movie. I thought that they were where they're coming from before doing this movie. I thought they were incredible. In terms of, if you think about what they did before, just comedy stuff. I mean, one of the first movies that they did was You, Me, and Dupree. I'm not sure if you ever remember that movie, but that was a movie starring Owen Wilson as a friend of a couple that
with
just
the dog, right?
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, that's not the one with the dog.
No, I think you're talking about Marley and Me.
Yeah, Marley and Me.
No,
yeah.
That's not Marley and Me. but
some movie I was like,
but it wasn't that good of a comedy. But he also did early on of Arrested Development. The brothers did that. They also did The Community, great show. But these are all comedies. Now, they've never done anything like Captain America: The Winter Soldier before, and if you've seen the movie, and if you haven't seen the movie, we hope that you do. But the action in this movie was some of the best action in a long time on film. For brothers who direct movies and never did action before, that's pretty good.
Yeah, you know, as far as the action, it's kind of like I saw this movie and then I saw the Raid 2 after, which was just like
That was that was a problem.
So I mean, as far as like the director standpoint, like I'm not too like nitpicky. I really like kind of from a fan perspective, I'm just like when I watch this movie, can I kind of get the message that they're trying to get across? Did the cinematography give me a headache? And for this, I was just like, you know, like I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was like well put together. I thought they did good considering like, you know, some of the strengths that obviously come with a movie of this magnitude, where there's like a prequel already, there's a sequel coming, there's, you know, another tie-in, there's
Having to need to fit the movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe too. It's
pretty much just kind of like, you know, having your own vision of what you want to do with it, and then kind of like adjusting accordingly to what's already there as far as like their corporate guidelines.
Yeah.
Heads up. I mean, I thought it was pretty good. Like,
and what you were talking about earlier though too, where this movie could be seen as a standalone film too. So I think that they did a good job in. All right, so time for the rating. I've seen it a few times. Paid both times to see it. Took a few people to see it.
in IMAX.
IMAX, the one time IMAX 3D. I will say this:
Marvel has your
3D
money,
is
yeah.
not needed. 3D is not needed for this movie. I'll say that again: 3D is not needed. So don't waste your money. But the IMAX is. I will give it a 9 for rewatchability. I will go back and watch it again right now, and I've already seen it a few times. That's how good it was to me. Now I give it a 9. But with that said, I think that there are some points in the movie where it kind of slowed down a little bit, because the whole movie itself was a fast-paced film. It was going 100 miles per hour as soon as you started the movie. But throughout the movie, it would stop sometimes just to develop a little bit of the story, which is okay. I see why they did that, but I felt like when they stopped and it slowed down, I think that it slowed down drastically and kind of broke away from what the film was trying to do. But with that being said, I still think I'd give it a 9, and I've seen it a couple times, so it was pretty good to me.
Yeah, I mean, this movie overall, like, I liked it a lot. I mean, I thought, again, like, the thing that I really enjoyed most about it is just, like, as a standalone movie, like, it's a good movie. So it's like, you don't have to have seen, like, every movie before this one to, you know, actually just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't, you know, bring the younger children to it just because, like, yeah, as far as, like, some of the violence and, like, you know, the shooting and things like that. I don't know, but to each his own. But
I agree with you. I agree. As a parent who has kids, I feel like you should probably wait. And I'm saying probably even over 12 to 13. I mean, it's PG-13 for a reason, but as far as Marvel, let me just say this was close to being a rated R movie. And this is the darkest movie that they have made. So for parents out there, stay cognizant and stay watchful. And this is just for me. And like you said, to each his own. But as a parent myself, I wouldn't take my kids.
yeah, well, I mean, yours are pretty young. But as far as this, though, like, I would give it, like, I'd say an 8.5 on this. I'd watch it again. Pay to see it. I mean, when you buy it eventually on Blu-ray, I'll watch it again. Marvel got your money. I'll be there. But, like, yeah, no, overall, it's a good, solid movie. Story's good. Obviously, you can't, you know, nitpick too much. It is a comic book movie. It is an action movie. So if your biggest thing is like, oh, hey, you know, that's not realistic, then, you know, it's probably not the movie for you. So, nah.
I will say this though, it fits really well in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Stay for both after credits scenes. There are 2. A lot of people made the mistake of leaving after the first one. There are 2.
Yep.
So be ready for that. It's a really good film. It fits in. There's a lot of Easter eggs in it too. We will come out with a spoiler heavy review, so look forward to that. We don't want to release all those out to you, but
Overwhelm people. You know?
yeah, but the movie is pretty great, and in terms of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it's probably one of the best Marvel movies that they have made yet. So, with that being said, Movie Bros, you're here, and subscribe to us if you like the review. Boom, boom.
We like likes, we like subscriptions.
Yeah.
He likes Spider-Man, but he's with Sony.
Yeah, too bad Marvel's not Spider-Man. It's the best superhero ever, but Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Hulk.
That Hulk's awesome too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not as cool as Spider-Man though.
Beat him in the fight.
Alright, yeah, sure. What's going on, guys, with the Movie Bros? I'm Sam.
Taryn.
If you like this review, go ahead and subscribe to us down there. We're gonna have more reviews coming. This is our first one, so
They'll be better.
they will be better.
They'll be better.
They will be better. Please put your feedback down below. We will certainly accept it.
read your
Negative
comments.
feedback, we will read your comments. We will reply.
I might not reply if it's too negative. I may just act like I didn't see it, but I've read it though.
We'll take positive and negative feedback.
Right there.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Movie Bros.